Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're embarking on a seriously massive, mouthwatering journey. We're looking at the global tapestry of Muslim culinary traditions and exploring the incredible diversity of flavors across continents. If you've ever wondered how faith, history, and food all intersect, well, you're absolutely in the right place. So get ready to be hungry. Okay, let's dive right into this. Think about this for a second. What do Moroccan couscous, Indonesian rendang, and Nigerian jollof rice actually have in common? I mean, on the surface, they might seem completely disconnected, right? They come from entirely different continents, totally different climates, and they boast completely different flavor profiles. But as we'll see, they actually share a profound historical and cultural root that's been intricately shaped by centuries of global trade, migration, and faith. So here's our flight itinerary for this explainer. We're going to cover 1. The global Muslim kitchen, 2. Heartlands and spice routes, 3. From steppes to tropics, 4. A truly global tapestry, and finally, 5. Shared values in every bite. Let's start with our very first stop. Section 1. The global Muslim kitchen, scale and core traditions. The crucial starting point here is scale. We are talking about nearly 2 billion people around the globe who practice Islam. 2 billion. When a population that massive stretches all the way from North Africa to Southeast Asia and from the Middle East to the Americas, you get this incredibly diverse blend. It's basically a collision of local, everyday ingredients with centuries-old traditions, creating some of the absolute most beloved dishes in the world. Now, you might be wondering, how does it all connect? Well, despite those vast geographic differences, there are foundational practices that unite this entire culinary tapestry. Right at the core is halal. It's a dietary standard ensuring that all ingredients and food preparations are permissible. And what this does is set the global stage for deep, shared traditions that are centered around things like hospitality, family, and generosity. Let's move along to our second section and see how all of this builds in the historical heartlands. Section 2. Heartlands and spice routes, Middle East and North Africa. So, the Middle East is home to dishes that have literally conquered the globe. Just picture it. Juicy kebabs sizzling over hot charcoal, creamy hummus scooped up with warm pita, or fresh, crispy falafel and shawarma. It's incredible. But what makes them truly unforgettable is the masterful use of spices. Earthy cumin, warm cinnamon, fragrant cardamom, and that tangy sumac. And you know, these aren't just meals. They're the vibrant centerpieces for family gatherings. Now, traveling just a bit west into North Africa, some really distinct regional signatures start to emerge. In Morocco, couscous isn't just some quick side dish. It's a treasured Friday meal, usually served alongside these incredible tagines that are slow-cooked with meat, veggies, and dried fruits. Then, if we look further east in Algeria and Tunisia, the flavor profile shifts. You get these intensely flavorful bubbling stews, roasted meats, and, of course, that famous fiery spice paste, harissa. Actually, let's slow down for a second here because there's a really vital concept we need to talk about: mint tea. In North African culture, pouring a warm, fragrant cup of mint tea is so much more than just quenching your thirst. It's a potent, powerful act of hospitality. It is literally about welcoming guests into your home and building those family bonds. It's a true cornerstone of their entire culinary culture. Okay, let's cross the map entirely now. We're moving from the steppes of Asia down to the tropics. In Section 3, From Steppes to Tropics, Asia's Culinary Diversity. South Asia, we're talking countries like India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, brings centuries of history right to your plate through intensely spice-rich foods. You have these incredibly complex, savory masterpieces like biryani, nihari, and halim. These are recipes that are fiercely guarded and passed down through generations. And to balance out all that rich, savory flavor, joyous festival sweets like sheer hurma and savian are absolutely essential when it's trying to celebrate. Heading north into Central Asia along the ancient Silk Road, the food shifts to really sustaining communal meals. And right at the center of it all is pilaf. This hearty meat and rice pilaf is the undeniable focal point of their celebrations. Served up alongside hand-pulled noodles, slow-roasted meats, and endless cups of tea, it's just this beautiful, edible reflection of nomadic history. Then, dropping way down into Southeast Asia, the climate and the flavor profile shifts dramatically. Down here, bold tropical ingredients completely take over. We're talking rich coconut milk, fragrant lemongrass, turmeric, and fiery local chilies. These are the ingredients that define absolute global favorites like Indonesia's world-famous rendang, Malaysia's nasi lemak, and Brunei's amazing seafood dishes. It's a totally different climate, but it is perfectly woven into this broader global Muslim kitchen. Let's zoom out to our fourth section to see how all these traditions weave into a much larger picture. Section 4, a truly global tapestry, Africa, Europe, and the Americas. It is amazing to look at how vast trade networks shaped Africa far beyond the northern coast. Over in West Africa, you've got Nigeria's beloved jollof rice and Senegal's iconic fish and rice dish, thibo dien. Then, on the complete other side of the continent in Somalia, you'll find aromatic baris and camel meat. And stretching down the Swahili coast, the food beautifully combines local African staples with distant spices that were brought over by centuries of ancient Indian Ocean trade. And notice how migration to Europe and the Americas has created this incredibly vibrant multicultural food scene. In Europe, communities have beautifully preserved Old World traditions. Just look at Bosnian cevapi or Albanian bajrek. Meanwhile, in the Americas, younger generations are staying closely connected to their heritage, but they're also sparking some really exciting multicultural fusions. I'm talking halal burgers, halal tacos, and unbelievable barbecue that brings together flavors from every single continent we've just talked about. We have literally traveled the globe today, so let's reach our final destination, Section 5, shared values in every bite. So here is the huge, crucial takeaway we've been building toward. Despite the incredible, almost chaotic variety of regional flavors out there, from the steppes to the tropics, from couscous to tacos, everything is united by some very strong shared cultural pillars. We're talking about strict halal food practices, a profound respect for local ingredients, and this deep, generous hospitality where prioritizing family meals and sharing food during Ramadan and Eid is just absolutely paramount. You know, there's a saying that every dish tells a story, and man, is that true here. Muslim cuisine is not just one single monolithic thing. It is a brilliant, dynamic collection of hundreds of regional traditions shaped by geography, trade, and human migration. But ultimately, the food is a vehicle. It's a way of preserving identity. Whether it's a bubbling Moroccan tagine or a fragrant Senegalese thibo dien, every single dish tells a vivid, continuing story of heritage, faith, and community. Which brings us to a final, pretty provocative question. In a world that so often focuses on our borders and our differences, what can we actually learn from a shared table? Because as we've seen today, the global Muslim kitchen proves that faith and culture aren't rigid. They adapt, they blend, and they create something truly beautiful no matter where they're planted. So the next time you sit down to a meal, ask yourself, what history is hiding in your spices? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep exploring, and I'll see you in the